everybody, it's Stephanie. Thank you for clicking on my YouTube channel, Stephanie's Book Reviews. Today is Sunday, January 12th, 2020, and my book review today is of this book, Next Level Thinking, 10 Powerful Thoughts for a Successful and Abundant Life by author Joel Osteen. Yes, you may have heard of Joel Osteen. He is a born-again Christian minister, but I really feel there's a lot in here that could apply to anyone. I also feel this way about books written by Joyce Meyer, who's also a born-again Christian minister, and Wayne Dyer, who is more of a spiritual, not religious writer. The main thing about this book that I want everyone who needs to hear it is this: if you're feeling guilty and you feel like you've made way too many mistakes in your life and nothing good's going to happen in the future, or you've just ruined it all, or if you suffered from child abuse when you were younger, grew up in a dysfunctional family or anything like that, and you've carried it with you, you just feel like this heaviness and this guilt and like there's nothing you can do to change it, this book is excellent at addressing it, in my opinion. I wrote down a few things. One thing that really stands out: stop beating yourself up, feeling guilty, and carrying a heaviness. I woke up saying to myself, stop beating yourself up, because literally I would wake up feeling crestfallen. I don't mind talking about personal stuff. For me, it's cathartic. Maybe you could relate to this and this helps. Great, because that is really what I want to do, is help and address feelings you may be having. And please read this book. When you wake up, if you start feeling all these things like negative and just like heart-pounding anxiety, like oh my gosh, especially if it's because you feel like you made way too many mistakes, what helped me is saying, stop beating yourself up. Stop beating yourself up. I'm going to read this list to you as I wrote it. By the way, do you like my green reading glasses? Put on the breastplate of God's approval. That's on page 164, by the way. God is there, not here. Move on. Oh yeah, I wanted to add a Holling quote. When one door closes, another one opens, but sometimes we're busy looking at the closed door, we don't notice the open one. God is there, not here. Move on is great, because you could sit and wallow in your misery, but God has already moved on, forgiven and forgotten. He moved on, and you should too. And wait, there's more. This will give you the impetus to move on. Here we go. Your best days are ahead of you. Your best days are ahead of you. One of my favorites. God already knew the mistakes you would make and will make. Another one of my favorites. Nothing you have done or was done to you can keep you from your destiny. Another one of my favorites. These are all like, a lot of these are my favorites. Nothing you have done or was done to you can keep you from your destiny. Remember that, no matter how old you are. I'm telling myself this too. Okay. You are God's child, and once you realize that, God is happy. This is related to the story of the prodigal son, which Joel Osteen goes into a little bit. If you know his writing, it really flows and it kind of really moves along, which is what I'm trying to do with this video. Okay. God's mercy and love is greater than any and all mistakes you have made or will make. I like that one. He also talks about the book of Ruth. Stop carrying the chip on your shoulder, anger and guilt, and let God be your vindicator, who will give you double for your trouble beyond your dreams. And I also included saving face. Now this actually happened to me. Like, I was in a situation where I wanted to do something, but because I wanted to save face and was also angry and carrying a chip on my shoulder, all these things, I did not humble myself, and I feel like I made a very bad choice. And it's not necessarily because bad may or may not happen, but maybe because something really great beyond my wildest dreams would have happened. And the reason I think this is important is if you have to humble yourself, then do it, because it will bring you something beyond what you could imagine. And also, saving face for people you don't care about or who don't like you or whatever. What's the point? What do you care what they think anyway? What do you care what anybody thinks anyways? You and God are a majority. It's you and God. It's not you and all these other people. You know, this is your life. Okay, I know this, I sound like a mom or a preacher. Kind of know that it's a red flag. If you're trying to save face, that is a red flag. Don't save face, and humble yourself and reap the reward sooner than later. If God is for you, no one can go against you. Kind of related to the previous one. You and God are a majority. Whatever you're pursuing, the two of you don't need anyone else's approval or encouragement. You and God, go for it. Shake off a slave mentality and start having a son mentality. Start dreaming, start believing. That is from page 119. And that has to do with, again, the prodigal son that Joel Osteen uses in his book. You may not see a way, but God has a way. He's fighting your battles. turning things in your favor. It may look permanent, but things are about to change. Believe. That's from page 69. You may not see a way, but God has a way. There's another saying that can go with that. Cast your cares. Cast your cares. If something was going to change your destiny, God would not allow it. Relax. That's on page 68. God is going to keep making and molding you. How I take that is if there's something you want to change about yourself, you and God, let's work on it together. That's on page 164. Get out of the pity party for yourself. Wake up. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Stop keeping yourself down. Get up and move on. Get up and do it. You can do it. Next, get rid of anger, etc. Knowing God forgives you and experience greater freedom, greater joy, and clearer vision. This video really is for people who suffer from a really bad case of the guilt. The guilt really serves no purpose. Worry serves no purpose. Anxiety and thinking about all these terrible things that you think are going to happen because you didn't do this and you didn't do that, or you did the wrong thing, or you said the wrong thing over and over and over and over again. According to Joel Osteen in his book, well, that is just lies. That is my book review. I really, again, recommend this for anyone who suffers from a bad case of the guilt and feeling they'll never move forward, even if they're forgiven, but they'll never move forward. No, don't believe that. You can move forward. Now is always the time, no matter how old you are, no matter how many mistakes you've made, no matter how many wrong turns you've taken. As it says here, you may not see a way, but God has a way. He's fighting your battles, turning things in your favor. It may look permanent, but things are about to change. Believe. In my life, I've noticed that things happen at the very last second, like at the 11th hour. And real quick examples, and I really wanted this condo, and they told me that it was under contract. I guess you know where this is going. Anyway, so I ended up with a condo that I really wasn't that happy. It wasn't bad. It was nothing bad about it. I just wasn't happy with it. At the 11th hour, right before I took that condo, they told me that first one became available. And I just, I don't know why I didn't take it, but I didn't. And I just thought, I made up my mind. And then another example, there was this temp job that I had been on 3 times, and finally they said they would hire me. And then I said at the time that I needed to work till 3 instead of 5 because of daycare, and I couldn't afford it, even with the pay. And they're like, oh, we just can't. I'm like, okay. So I made other plans actually to move out of state. And at the 11th hour, I didn't commit to any specific job or person or thing. Right at the 11th hour, though, before I was going to go, they said, okay, we'll give you the 3 o'clock. Oh. I didn't do it. That was a mistake. And when I did cable access a long time ago, and then I lived in Illinois, I wanted to do an interview in Ohio, and I was going to drive there. Like, I think the day before I was moving, or the day I was moving, I still had time. At the 11th hour, they called, and they said, where are you? We thought you'd be coming here to do an interview. And I'm like, I never heard from you. Like, oh, well, we just thought you'd be coming here. I got no response. I knew it at the time even, and even now, to just go and do it. So my point here is, and they mentioned this in the book, at the 11th hour, in God's time. God is never late. He's always on time. Keep that in mind, and I will too. And again, this book has been, this is a terrific book. Next Level Thinking, 10 Powerful Thoughts for a Successful and Abundant Life by author Joel Osteen. Here it is. Please feel free to like, comment, or subscribe. I really appreciate all of it. Thank you again for watching. My name is Stephanie from Stephanie's Book Reviews, and I'll see you again on the next video.